Students, today we will study Mahashir and trout fishery. You have done in the last semester about the hill fishes which are cold water fishy and that you have studied the exotic fishery. Similarly, in India also in the cold regions, the Mahashir and the trout is cultured as a cold water fishery. We will discuss them. The mahashir is one of the most important game fishes of India, which is being hunted for fun by mostly the foreign tourists or the abroad ones. They like to fish it very much. So the mahashir is the name that is because of its big headedness. It has a feature big head. They are commonly found in the cold fishes of India. Commonly found, the mahashir species of India are Tor potitora, Tor, Tor mussel, Tor khudri, Tor musala, Tor progynus, Acrosochelus hexagonophilus. So these species are most commonly found. We will discuss them one by one. Now, if we generally talk, the characteristic of mahashis are that they are generally found to their maximum size in the mountainous streams and rivers. As I have told you that they like the cold temperatures. So the mahashir juveniles are found in the clear hill streams. In addition to being caught for sport, they are also liked for the commercial fishing and ornamental or as an aquarium fish. We will talk about their species. The first one we will take is the Tor potitora, which is also called as golden mahashir. It is having a long head as compared to the depth of the body. The maximum size it reaches is about 274 centimeters. They are found in the fresh waters of Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana, Darjeeling of West Bengal and in Assam. The fry of the species hide themselves under the big boulders near the banks. The adults migrate from the main rivers to the tributaries for spawning during August to September, and after that they usually return in the October to November to their original place. Tortor, as you see in the figure, they are called as red-finned mahashir. It is depicted in the diagram also. So it is having a more stouter build and have the shorter head as compared to the depth of the body. It can attain up to 1.5 meters in length. It is found along the foothills of Himalayas in the states of Kashmir, Bihar, Punjab, Uttarakhand and the Madhya Pradesh of India. It is a bottom feeder with a long breeding season which runs from July to September. Then is the Tor mussel, also called as copper mahashir. Here the head is more or less equal to the depth of the body. It is found in the rivers along the Himalayas in Sikkim, Assam and Mahanadi basin, and it can grow up to 11 kgs in weight. So it is a profitable business for a farmer. It is omnivorous and breeds in July to August. Then is the Tor khudri or the yellow or Deccan mahashir. It attains a length of 1.5 meters and is found in India, in Orissa and throughout the peninsular part. It moves to the upper reaches to the colder regions for spawning, and they are predatory and even feed on small mahashir. They can acquire the weight up to 45 kgs and length up to 1 meter in size. Another species found in India is the Tor musala or the hump-backed mahashir. As you can see in the diagram, there is a slight hump which is easily visible. It has the laterally compressed body with the narrow, thick-lipped mouth, and the caudal fin is deeply forked. You can see the division with the small tubercles on the rays. It can grow up to 150 centimeter and can weigh up to 90 kgs. It is found in the fresh waters of peninsular India, Krishna, Godavari and Kaveri. The another species is the Tor progynus, the Jungha mahashir. You see it is having a quite different appearance. The top of the snout is fleshy and protruded into semicircular flap. There is upper lip is fan shaped that you can easily see. It is having a different type of mouth structure with a rounded structure reflecting posteriorly. Its color is silvery gray or grayish with the sides slightly pinkish. The breeding season is between July to August to December, with a peak up to the September. That you know, that is a monsoon period. It is found mostly in Assam, Naga Hills and Manipur of India. Next species is the Acrochelys hexagonalapis, which is also called as chocolate mahashir. They are found in eastern Himalayas and they can reach up to the 60 centimeters in length. They are having the thin lips with the continuous angles of mouth and labial fold widely interrupted in the middle. The head is more or less equal to the depth of the body. Adults feed on filamentous algae, crustaceans and beetles. They like to migrate upstream for spawning for the colder regions, and usually they lay the eggs on the stone or in the gravel. They are in high demand for the meat purpose because of their taste. Now these are the species. Now in India, the mahashir fishery has not been very much successful in the recent years. So there have been various reasons for the decline in mahashir. The main reasons are the indiscriminate and unchecked fishing and the destruction of the brood fish. You know, the brood fish that is going to reproduce and lay out the eggs. So if they are killed, obviously there will be shortage of the new generation. And the juveniles of mahashir, they have been destructed, and that has resulted in the depletion of the natural stock of the most species. There has been very less natural replenishment of mahashir stocks because of the low fecundity of the mahashir. They are not very active, you can see, in reproducing, and the extreme vulnerability of the early larval stages and the hatching of mahashir. So this has caused their decline in population. There has been only limited observations on the behavior of food fishes, causing only the limited use in the polyculture experiment. That has also caused their attention. Less attention is being paid to them. Now, what are the recommendations for the development of mahashir in India? So there are the various suggestions or the recommendations is that to provide some type of protection, fishing, killing, destruction or damage to the mahashirs and the juveniles. Obviously, we have to protect them. Only then we can increase their population, and especially during their spawning period. So the spawning areas should also be protected and the fishing should be prohibited in those areas. Then the various barriers that is in the rivers and streams should be there for the spawning of mahashir, should be avoided as far as possible so that there is no disturbance for them. If possible, a fish farm should be established in the close proximity of the dam so that there the proper care can be given to them. Then the possibilities of establishing mahashir seed farms should be there, where in the areas which is more favorable to it regarding to the environmental conditions. And the detailed survey of the present status of mahashir should be conducted in all the river systems and reservoirs, and their catch date should be properly maintained and the records should be properly managed so that the future planning can be done. So this is what was about the mahashir fishery. Then what are the causes of decline trend in trout fishery? If we talk it out, they have been the defective silting and the hatcheries design, because in the hilly regions there is a problem of silt in those areas, and the use of rectangular wooden or concrete tops, these have caused the problem, especially to the fry and fingerlings. Then the nutrition was not given proper to them. The malnutrition and the lack of proper nutrients had the adverse effect on the health and growth of trout. During the incubation period, the eggs and fry are prone to several diseases, so their proper care should be given to them so that they are not infected with the diseases. Then the main constraint was the cost, benefit and finance. That should also be taken care of, especially if the reliable data should be made of that. So these were all about the mahashir fishery. I hope you have understood. Thank you.